Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Apple just reported earnings, a big decliner. Growth is slowing at the fastest pace since 2001, long before we ever had an iPhone. So, how does this set up the markets for tomorrow? We do have big economic data that is going to be coming out that will also be very important. Now, AMC stock was green today, about 4.5%. What is coming next from here is pretty exciting, and I want to go over that here with you guys as well. So, if this is your first time to the channel, consider sticking around a while, hitting that like button because it is free 99, as well as subscribing to the channel because that is also free 99, as well as that. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about all of this information. What do you think is coming for AMC stock as well as the broader markets? And let's not waste your time and let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first things first, big story. Apple is down about 3.5% in after hours. And we'll get into that here in just a second. But big shout out, first things first, to those of you guys that traded Fortinet with me as well. We did have the 46 puts. You're trading a little bit out of the money still. We had 10 of those. We'll see what ultimately happens tomorrow. But those are probably going to print some sweet, sweet tendies. $180 total trade. Could end up being a couple $1,000. We'll have to wait and see, but it's looking good so far. So congratulations to those of you guys that did hit that trade. If you guys would like to come trade with us, link down below in the description of this video. So what's going on with Apple right now is it's pretty simple. Apple just had 4 declining quarters of growth year over year, back to back. So Q4 2023 came in at negative 0.67% growth. The next quarter came in at negative 1.47% growth. The next quarter, I'm saying that backwards. So Q1 2023 was negative almost 6% growth. Q2 was negative 2.64%. Negative 1.47% for Q3, and for Q4, the quarter that was just reported, was negative 0.67. This is the last time this happened was 2001. Now, there are some specific comments on forward-looking guidance that are also having a negative impact on Apple stock here in after hours. As you can see, the QQQ is down 0.42%. Now, I'm not convinced this is going to cause another big leg down for our markets. It's possible, yes. As you can see, a Tesla is down 1.33% in after hours. It is possible. Apple is 11% weighting of the triple Qs, but there are some other things that are kind of counteracting Apple. Now, there is a chance that tomorrow Apple is down, but the rest of the markets maybe are not. We are going to have some economic data that will be coming out that will be important, but it's also about the bonds right now. Bonds have been really the big story. Now, this says Apple stock dips after weak outlook for December quarter revenue. Apple highlighted stronger than expected 16% growth in its online services division to make up weakness in hardware sales. Now, Apple shares fell over 2% in extended trading after executives suggested that the company may not return to growth in the holiday quarter. Apple didn't give formal guidance, but CFO Luca Mastri said that Apple expected December quarter revenue to be similar to last year's revenue. However, Apple said that the December quarter this year will have one fewer week. Mastri said that Apple expected iPhone revenue to grow over last year, and analysts were looking for $122.98 billion in revenue for the December quarter, which would be a return to year-over-year growth of about 5% in Apple's most important quarter. That's the thing. Last year's numbers were crazy high for Apple in the fourth quarter. It doesn't look like that is going to be happening. You could say this is kind of, pointing out the obvious, right? The consumer is slowing down. People are just hard pressed, not doing well out there. Just across the board, people are not doing well. So is this a big shocker to me? No, absolutely not. I'm kind of shocked Apple admitted it, but that's just because Apple likes to kind of beat around the bush, try to paint things over as a rosy picture. They don't even give guidance because of that exact reason. Apple's earnings, though, actually came in pretty dang good. Wearables did miss. iPad revenue beat. Mac revenue missed. iPhone revenue came exactly in line. Overall revenue came in about, what is that, 250 million higher than expectations. EPS did beat by a decent margin. Gross margins also did beat by a solid amount as well. So the numbers themselves were not bad. It's that forward-looking guidance. And Apple can kind of be seen as a bellwether for the economy as well. If people are just not willing to buy that expensive product, maybe they just don't need it. Maybe it's not in their budget, and that's kind of one of those things that investors say, whoa, if Apple is not going to hit their numbers or not have impressive numbers, well, maybe everything else is not going to as well. Now, to the prior point that I just made, it's really all about the bond market as of right now. And as you can see, 10-year treasuries were down 13 basis points today to 4.66%. It wouldn't surprise me after Apple earnings if you do get a little bit more fear in the marketplace that maybe the economy is slowing faster than we thought, which in theory should cause investors to go out and buy more treasuries, thus causing treasury yields to fall even more. Now, if we look at TLT was up 2.28% in after hours. This is the 20-year Treasury ETF. Seeing a nice little gap up here. You're up about 1 cent in after hours as well. Not obviously, a huge move. It looks like you are going up a little bit more after the comments from Apple as well. Now you're up 0.2% in after hours, but tomorrow's obviously going to be about the data more than it is about anything else. So I do think that's something we definitely want to be watching for. In theory, Apple earnings could actually help out the bond yields fall, and that could have a weird relationship in the markets tomorrow where Apple could be down, the rest of the markets could be up. We've seen that before, but it will have a drag on the index. As you can see, the QQQ is down almost 0.5% here in after hours, whereas even AMC stock, it was just green. Now it's red by 1 cent. So it doesn't necessarily have to pull everything down with it. Now, the economic data that we're going to get tomorrow, pretty straightforward, is the non-farm payrolls. You're expecting 180,000. If you come in line with that, not a big deal. If you come in like 300,000 or more, kind of what happened last month, then bond yields are probably going higher. Now, if this were to come in at like 100,000, then you get bond yields probably shooting down a lot. If it comes in at like 50,000, then you're going to get a big drop in bond yields. Maybe a 20 plus basis point fall in bond yields. And investors are going to say, whoa, the Fed is a lot closer to tightening. And that's going to ultimately be good in the short term, kind of bad in the longer term, because after all, you don't want a recession if you start to get some really bad data coming out, some jobs reports. That's not going to look so good. Now, October's unemployment rate is expected at 3.8%. This would be the third month in a row you're sitting at 3.8%. Again, same logic. If the unemployment rate comes in higher, maybe like 4%, investors, might like that. If it comes in higher than 4%, investors are probably not going to like that as much, at least in the midterm. Short term, that knee-jerk reaction in the bonds might cause a rally in stocks. We just really have to see. That's why it'll be very important. Now, ISM Services PMI is expected at 53. Some people think around 53.7. Last month was 53.6. So if you do get that, coming in lower than expectations, that's going to be good, right? Services are really one of the big stories of inflation thus far in real estate as well. So I'm actually pretty optimistic heading into tomorrow, even though Apple just fell on earnings. It's down 3 to 3.5%. I don't think that has to be a doom and gloom situation for the entire markets. It could be one of those situations where Apple kind of just doesn't do well tomorrow, and the broader markets probably do a little bit better than that, and could actually rally if the data comes in, bullish tomorrow or negative, and you get yields that actually do come down. The big story lately has been yields. The algorithms are trading based on what the yields are doing. So that's just kind of my opinion on this situation. Now, AMC stock is above its 50-day moving average. That's beautiful. Next stop is that 100-day moving average at $24.17 per share. That's where I think you're going from here. I think you're going to that 100-day moving average. Now, I don't know if it's November 8th earnings that does it. I don't know what's going to exactly do it. It could just be yields coming down. I think that's going to have a huge impact on the markets, on something like an AMC that, will have a big positive effect. So I think there's, AMC, the fact that AMC is going to benefit from rates coming down, the fact treasury yields are coming down, the fact that AMC's business is in a much different place than it was the last time you were trading at these levels in January of 2021, when basically everyone thought AMC was going bankrupt. There's a big, room for a rise in AMC's share price as of right now. If you look at the MACD wants to go positive pretty close. When that does go positive, then it's going to be very, very exciting. The RSI is at 52.73, so above your 50 level. If that continues higher, that's also going to be a good sign in my personal opinion. Now, another big story of AMC as of lately has been the option activity. It's been incredibly bullish, guys. I really can't find another stock that is trading this bullish in the land of options. You're at 0.68 for a put to call ratio. Today, you have seen 5 orders totaling $377.88 thousand with a positive order value of 62%. That is incredibly strong. I am incredibly bullish on what we're seeing here with AMC stock. It's completely flipped. If you look at the volume expiring this Friday, you have about 65% call volume and 35% put volume. I mean, that's a very strong number. And I do think it's really a sign of what is to come with AMC, and it's pretty dang exciting. So that is going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day. And again, if you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, link down below in the description of this video as well. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.